Are you gonna leave that on the counter? Just like that? I'll take care of it later. You always say that. Okay. Don't okay me like that. Like what? Well, I can't keep track of how many times this week that I was wronged. Now it's about me, the way I talk to you now. You never listen to me anymore. What is this really about? Like, I'm sick and tired of being criticized for what I don't know, what I've been doing wrong. It seems that nothing I do is right for you. It started with a dish, but it's not really about dishes. I feel my heart is pounding and heat is rising. I don't remember I intend to raise my voice like that. There's something I'm missing. I can't put words into it quite yet, but what came out of my mouth is about the dishes or something else. What's going on with me? What's going on with us? Welcome back to the Happiness Games for Romantic Relationship podcast. I'm your host, Ijao Martins. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist in the state of California, and my specialty is somatic couples therapy. So last week, we talked about the flight part, the part that's anxious, withdrawal, and pulling energy away from the relationship. This week, we'll meet its sibling, the fight part, the one that pushes, the one that demands, the one that criticizes and blames, that competes, trying to get connection the way they want, in the way they know. We'll look at like three things this week. First, we'll look at the behaviors. What does it look like in relationship when this fight part is present? Then we are going to look at what it feels like, the fight part in the body, in your body. We'll experience it together and explore it together. Then third, we are going to look at what this part is trying to protect and trying to cover up for, something deeper in us in this relationship. And always stay till the end for tips and a standalone meditation to bring you back experientially to increase your self-awareness so you can be ready to be interpersonal, to re-enter your relationship dynamic from a calm and centered place. Let's begin, shall we? So according to the developmental model that's coined by Pete and Ellen, the Couples Institute, when we start a relationship, we're in the very easy, effortless connecting state called the honeymoon period. Well, theoretically, we call it symbiotic state. And everything is easy, you enjoy time together, sex is great, and it seems like all you want is to spend time together. You join naturally on similarity, there's no struggle. And then things changes. Generally within 6 months to a year and a half, the relationship start to grow and progress. But it doesn't feel like growth. It feels like loss. That sweet, effortless connection is lost. That activates our sympathetic nervous system. So the stage we're entering into, called differentiation, it doesn't work itself out. We're active participants to differentiate and to integrate our differences, to enhance and make our relationship bond stronger. But it's growing pain indeed. So when this sweetness honeymoon period is lost and naturally our body is activated, our nervous system is saying, there's something that's different from before and I do not like it. And it depends on who and how your nervous system operates in what time. Some people's flight part get activated more, other people's fight part get activated more. So today we're exploring the fight part and what does it look like, how does it feel like inside of us. So what you will see behavior-wise when people are resisting the change or doesn't want to stay and feel the grief, when the sympathetic nervous system is acting out, is literally telling us, according to Polyvagal Theory, there is something that we perceive as danger or change that's threatening to us even though in reality, if I frame it that way for you, it's a developmental stage you go through. But it feels, our brain registers it as danger, and we need to do something about it. So when it activates the fight part, that part tend to show up as being very pushy and demanding, critical of their partner, and has little tolerance for differences, that things they start to notice that person might be different from they used to present or from themselves, from the partner themselves. And you will see less patience in conversations. People tend to come in and cut the other person off, interrupt, and try and interject, and not listening well. And sometimes it can also show up as negotiation failures, small as chore division to date planning to something larger, like where you're going to live together and how do you finance your house. And there might be more arguments, and you get into a roadblock, one person trying to dominate a conversation, and then explosion, escalation of fights. And competition sometimes show up as both people trying to prove how much they're contributing to the family, how good a partner they are, to not intentionally put the other person down, but want to elevate themselves and status-wise in the household. Competition. So all of those are just presentations and behaviors when the fight part is taking over your system, your internal system. So now let's take a moment to explore and feel, what does it feel like? So we know next time when your fight part is taking over, and then we can do something about it. Every change starts from being aware of that, right? So when I get in touch with my fight part, I notice a lot in my eyes. There's a narrow tunnel vision. You know, like before you're about to fight someone, you have your fighting stance, your visions are very narrow. You just focus on scanning the face of your partner. In this case, if you're fighting your partner, you're always noticing what they're about, what they're doing, what they're not doing right. And so you can target them, right? And then also feel a lot of tightness in my jaw. It's also clenching a little bit, almost getting ready to bite and getting ready to get that words out and push the words out. And also around, you can also with a bend of the neck and shoulder as well. And a lot of energy in the hands. Sometimes there's expression like that, or sometimes it doesn't even show like what the hands want to do, but they're like movement. It could be like when you're talking, you have gestures, right? And you have a lot of movement, that there's a lot of energy pushing outward and forward. And voice wise, it tends to be the pitch is going upward. They're more a sound traveling up this way. The volume sometimes goes up, sometimes the pitch is higher when we're in the fight part that's activated. And then you may feel also a lot of warmth in the chest or in the core that make you feel powerful, make you want to puff up and get bigger. It's not a pain necessarily in the chest, more feels like electricity, almost sensations go, I'm wired, and this is pushing outward and forward, make me bigger. Think about a lion getting ready to roar. So those are just what I feel when I'm exploring my fighting part. It's actually very pleasurable for me when I'm exploring that. When you're not acting out to target someone, when you just stay in the experience of the fight, it feels very pleasurable and empowering and big and fun. All right, so now let's move to what this part is trying to protect. So in IFIO, which is the couple therapy model, that's developed by an internal family system. There's a part of the partner tend to activate the other part of the other partner. So this fighting part is what we call a protector. It's a protective part that's trying to help and cover up and other parts of that's maybe perceived as vulnerable, tend to be younger and soft, and maybe we don't feel like experience that part as much. It depends, right? For some people, grief, sadness, hurt feels too vulnerable to experience, and so they will use the protector angry part to protect and to literally shield that part and stop that part down. So that part is not in the heart and center of the presentation. Oh, I'm very familiar with that. And then they tend to trigger the other partner's flight part or maybe fight part, depends on the other partner. And then you can see this is a fighting, pursuing, and the anxious withdrawing flight partner, that dynamic, the classic dynamic. I have a little example for you. So I used to feel very angry, or I act out my anger before my children separate from me. They go to their dad's house and we go on a trip. I notice every morning before they separating from me, I tend to get pissed at them. I want to control what's going on with our day, the routine in the morning. I get stressed out and I will say something they're not doing right and we're late or something, and they get upset. There's a little unpleasant moment in the morning. Then I realized, whoa, actually what's underneath that protector, the anger, fight part, is a part of me that's grieving the loss of the separation. I feel sad. I do not like to feel that. It's not convenient in the middle of my day to feel sad, especially in the morning. It is a downward energy. So instead of staying in the energy and feel it, I will go to my fighting protector part to externalize my energy, to lift myself up, activate myself, so I can go about my day, work and other roles. So now I switch into acknowledge and telling my children, I'm feeling sad, I will be missing you, I already feel sad and missing you. And I allow myself to stay in the sadness a little bit and share that with my children. Sometimes I cry a little bit in the car on the way home, and I allow myself to feel that part of me that's grieving, the sadness. And so the protector fight part doesn't need to come out and be activated. So that is a shift in my internal system. That could be relevant, or you could resonate with that in your romantic relationship. I don't know. Feel free to comment down below. Let me know. So here comes to the jam. I will give you 3 tips. Number 1 is when you notice a heat rising, your voice are raised, you're talking faster, you're cutting your partner off, and you start to get into a fighting, attorney, attacking mode, pause, and you can use your beautiful words to say that to yourself. Some part of me is activated right now. The words are very important. Some part of me, not just I'm the whole me. There's only a part of me. I have a whole me. Other parts have different opinions or energy. But some part of me is activated right now in this moment. Just acknowledge that. It's okay. It's just part of me. Step 2, give it a more voice to tell the physical sensations of this part instead of your story. Don't say, well, there's a part of me that's activated, I'm upset with you, blah, blah, blah. You start the critical mode. That's a critical mode. That's the critical part that's taking over. So that's another part. You let that part go back and saying, okay, I feel heat in my chest. I feel pressure in my chest. I feel pressure to talk, and I'm afraid what's going to come out of my mouth is not very productive right now, or may hurt you, or you don't deserve to hear that. That is to describe your internal experience, your sensations. That's safer in the interpersonal relationship. Your partner is less likely to take it as attack, uncritical voice, and then their partner is less likely to be activated and get defensive or withdraw. Right? So a safer way is to describe how you're feeling inside the sensations, from heat, temperature, movement, or even like pulsations, whatever you're noticing, you can describe that simply. And 3, if you can take what we call a graceful exit. Take a moment to yourself and talk to your protector and notice what's underneath. Let's get curious. What's underneath that? What is trying to protect? What is the deep desire you have? And then when you're ready, come back with your observing self, interpersonally talk to your partner about what your needs and desires are, and have a heart-to-heart conversation. All right, let's come to our meditation. This meditation is intended to bring you back to your observing ego, observing self, so you can re-enter your relationship with calmness and centeredness. Are you ready? Let's begin. Find somewhere you can be alone. You can sit or lie down, whatever lets your body feel held. You don't have to be calm to begin. Start exactly where you are. On one breath in, no need to fix anything. Just to mark this moment as different from the one before. Let it go. It's beautiful. If there is any heat in your chest, your jaw, your hands, let it be there. You're not trying to make it disappear. You're simply noticing it. Now, if you may, put one hand on your chest. I'm joining you. Feel your own warmth. It's meeting underneath your palm. Now, gently let your attention drop just beneath the heat. Not into thinking about it, underneath it. Feel like going below water that's being disturbed. What's there? There might be sadness, longing, a tiredness you haven't admitted to yourself yet. Whatever is there, you don't have to fix it. You just have to let it be seen by you. Now feel the floor beneath you again, the ground, your body that fought is trying to protect something it loves. Let yourself soften just slightly around this truth. This part that was a little bit confused, activated, trying to fight, not very skillfully. It wants love. And when you're ready, you re-enter your relationship from here, the place of love from your heart, not from the heat, the part that wants to fight, but from this grounded heart place. You can repeat after this. I can feel the fire without becoming it, without being taken over by it. I can protect myself. I am safe. I don't need to go to war. I can give myself time to grieve what has changed in this relationship and still choose love. My body can learn a new way, one breath at a time. So next week, we'll be exploring variations of our sympathetic nervous system expression. We so far explored flight part and fight part. In the next 2 weeks, we'll explore the fixer part and the fawn part. Until next week, my friends.